What's up, church? I hope you're having a great week, and I hope that you are enjoying this Advent season. I hope that you are taking your mind and heart before the throne of grace and just reminding yourself of the fact that Jesus did come and that he's coming again. And we have so many reasons to celebrate the riches of his grace. And this time of year, it's just a beautiful opportunity to do that in a nuanced way. I hope you're taking advantage of these beautiful little Advent devotionals that we've been able to put into your hand that just accentuate the gospel and the grace of God for us. It's just so rich for our hearts and minds. So I'm looking forward to celebrating God's grace again with you on Sunday. First of all, in the 9:30 hour, I'm excited about our first family meeting together. Well, not your first family meeting, but my first family meeting with you in this role. And we're really looking forward to that time. And then also as we worship Jesus together in the 10:30 hour, just really excited to dive back into this genealogy of grace that you see depicted there in Matthew chapter 1. We've gone there as a result of seeing the genealogy at the end of Ruth that points us forward to the coming of Jesus and how it all works. And so we're diving into this and just kind of pulling out the riches of God's grace in there. Last week, Matt did a phenomenal job and gave to us a beautiful image of a kind of family table with Jesus at the head. And as you look around that table, as Matt kind of painted that imagery, as you look around that table, you realize that it is indeed a motley crew of misfits. Every little story that features in the grand story of redemption includes messy people just like you and I, and thus you and I are invited. We're invited to that table. What a blessing that is for us to ponder. And yet I just want to kind of tease into that a little bit more this Sunday as we look at Matthew chapter 1 verses 1 through 6 and continue to dig around in this genealogy of grace. I want us to tether into that imagery a little bit further. It's one thing for us to consider that we are invited, but I want you to think for a moment as we prepare our hearts to study and to worship Jesus this Sunday. I want to ask you a question like, what about when we've been around that table for a minute, right? What about when we're tempted to lose our sense of awe that we've been invited there? We know that we're unworthy to be seated with Jesus at his table. And yet, what about when we've been around that table for a little while and that sense of awe has started to wear off and we start to become a little bit entitled, like we really actually do belong and that others don't? What happens then? Well, I think what Matthew has to say, even in starting his gospel with this genealogy, will help us on Sunday and help us to be reminded that the gospel of Jesus Christ has always been and always will be for all people. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday.